Okay, good afternoon, good evening, good morning from whenever you're watching this recording from. So today we are going to be looking at the second leg of our harmonic patterns training. Last week we kind of looked at the Gadley pattern, and one of the things that, well, we didn't get the time to look at the examples, and I'm not going to be looking at the examples just yet. I just want to help us to understand the concept, because to be honest, really, the patterns are quite simple. If you know how to use Fibonacci, they are really, really simple. When I started it just, I think last month or thereabout. But I've always known about it, so I've just really not taken time to really study it. But when I did, I gave it time. It just it just came to me. I've just been practicing and back testing, and which is really what it is. The question I always ask, if you want to learn something new, is what is your why? You need to have a why. You can't learn anything new if you don't have a reason for learning. If you're just learning for the purpose of just learning, you won't get it. You have to have a goal, an end goal. What is the purpose for which you want to learn this thing? What is the reason? My reason was to kind of have an that extra advantage, that edge, that extra confidence. Like one of the things we learned when we were still in IML, learning on the IML's platform, was the fact that we need to have different tools to just to give us the confidence, just to give us an extra confirmation for our positions. Well, to be honest, you don't really need to have 5 to 10 tools, or strategies to be able to take a trade. You can just pick one and master it. But if you know at least two, you can use 2 or 3 just to confirm what you're doing. If it's your position before you take it, is also an advantage. I don't really believe in using one tool, like for instance, using the Fibonacci alone, or using the harmonic patterns alone. At least you need to look at other elements as well, just to have that extra confirmation. So that's why I went into the harmonic pattern, just to be able to understand them. There's a number of them. You have the deep crab, you have the crab, you have the gatli, you have the butterfly, you have the shark, and a whole lot of them. But again, just like every tool, you can't know everything. You can't learn everything. Just pick the ones that you're comfortable with, and then work with them. Now, presently, I'm only working with the bats, the Gatli, and the Cipher pattern. Cipher happens to be one of the ones that offer much a higher level of accuracy. It's much more, it's widely used. So the cipher pattern happens to be one of my favorite patterns. But you can also pick anyone. The butterfly, I really trade the butterfly, but it's good to know them. Yeah, there's the shark as well, but I don't even touch them at all. Now, if you come to this platform, you would see a whole lot of them. You have shown this to us when we're looking at the Gatli last week. Let me see if I can. By the way, this is the library. This is filled with so much resources, so many resources. I don't know. It will blow your mind if you just come here, and if you just sit on this in this library for a week. There's so much you can learn, by yourself. Okay, if you look at this, there's a whole number of it. You have there's the bearish Gatli, there's the anti-butterfly, anti-Gatli, anti-crab, and all of that. Nen star, cipher, all of that. There's a whole lot of them. So many of them. There's this one. Some of them don't have names on this ones, but like I said, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to know every one of them. All you need is about just 2 or 3, then you're good to go. Like for me, like I said, I only use the cipher pattern, and the Gatli and the bat pattern. Sometimes I dabble into the butterfly, but if you've seen most of my charts, the Yeah, okay, well, I know for some of us don't really know how to use it yet, so you may not really understand. So if you see most of my charts, I always measure, you see the 61 Fibonacci or the 38 and 50. Those are the ones that I use. So today we're going to be looking at the BAT pattern and possibly the cipher pattern as well. I did some notes here just to help us to understand, you know. Okay, let me go to the chart. Pick up something. Pick up this one. Okay, that's the one I've used before. I'll start from scratch. Okay, so let me look for an empty space here. Okay, this should work. Okay, now, which is better? I think this is better. Okay, this is better. Now, for every harmonic scanner, there is one thing that is common to every one of them. They have impulse legs. They have to start from somewhere. You know, so they can either be bearish or bullish. Now, for you to begin drawing an harmonic scanner, harmonic pattern, you need to see something like this or something like this. Yep. We treated this last week when we did Gadley, so you can catch the Gadley video. You have to see something like this market or something like this. I think I should thicken this to make it much more pronounced. Yeah, so this is what you're looking for in the market. Like, for instance, this is what I mean. Something like this is what you're looking for in the market. That's an impulse leg. Now, when you see that, the next thing you want to see again is something like this. That's the next thing you want to look for, which is a pullback, a retracement, whatever you want to call it. Yep. So now, take this out. To draw a BAT pattern, we have the rules. They're all here for you to be able to draw them. It's really, 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 really straightforward. You have an impulse leg and you have a retracement of 38 or 50. What does that mean? Now, if I was starting now, let's say I come to the market, what I'm looking for is this. So this has a number, letters rather. Here, the first point of the impulse leg is called the X. Make this 14. That is called the X leg. Yep. The next one here is called the A. Excuse me. That's called the A. And the retracement that I talked about, which is from here, remember what we learned from price action. Market price would never ever go in one direction. Even this, as you can see this happening, you can see what's happening is going up, coming down, going up, coming down, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Price will never go in one direction. It will always correct. It will always retrace. It will always pull back. So those are the things things that you should just know. So because of that, there is an impulse leg and there is a correction or a pullback. So from here, this is the X leg, this is the A leg. The next correction is called your B leg. The correction is called your B leg. Correction is called your B leg. Yep. Now, what is the measurement of your B leg? This X leg doesn't really have a measurement per se, but the measurement starts from your B leg. So your impulse and your correction of that impulse, your impulse or the pullback of that impulse. Yep. So how do you find what is the length of this pullback? The rules are here. The rule says for a BAT pattern, it should be at least 38 or up to 50. I can also show you this one as well. If you look at this, I think the other one is a better one. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, okay, it's not here. I think it's up there. Let me see. Am I missing something? Where is it? Okay, I can't find what I'm looking for. I'm just going to use this one. So for BAT pattern, let's see if it's here. Look at the measurement. This is not big enough. That's why I wanted something bigger. You see, so Where is the bullish bad pattern? Bullish bad pattern. Bullish bad. Okay, I can see a bullish bar here. Let me. It's somewhere here. Let me look for it. Just give me a second. Gonna look for it because that's like a cheat sheet for some of us. If you just want to have that. There's so much information here. Sometimes I. Okay, come on. Okay, I can't find it for some reason. So just a minute ago. Okay, let me see. Oh, okay, found it. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. This is wider, bigger, and clearer. Now, if you look at this is the bullish crab, right? So it's saying that there is a pullback. I mean, there's an impulse leg, and then there is a pullback. Have you seen what it's saying that there's a pullback? So the pullback of that impulse leg should be at least 38.2 or 61.8, which is what we have here. 31. Oh, is that the one I'm looking for? Hold on. Oh, that's a crab. Where's my part? Oh, this one. This is it. Sorry. 31.2 or 50. You see? The pullback should be 31.2, 38.2, sorry, or 50. So for some of, if you want to look at this, that's how you interpret this. This one for the bullish crab is the pullback should be 38.2 or 61.8, meaning it can get to 38.2 or go as low as 61.8. That's what it means. The same thing happens here for bearish crab. It can go as deep as 38.2 or 61.8. So that's what this one means. So we're going to go back to it now. So 38.2 or 50. So let's say we take our Fib. So you have to take this Fibonacci. The Fibonacci tool is your tool that you use to measure your impulse and your pullbacks. Yeah, that is the only tool you use. This one and your extension. So there's a Fibonacci retracement and the Fibonacci extension. So you put your extension to Fibonacci retracement tool from your X leg, that's the lowest point of that impulse leg, to the highest point of that impulse leg, which is your A. Yep. Automatically you can find your B leg or your AB leg, which would be between 38. Let me see. What is this in the way? Yep, between 38.2 or 50.0. So if it gets to this point, it is valid. If it goes as low as this point, it is valid. Now, what it mustn't do, it mustn't go all the way to 61.8. It mustn't get there, because if it gets to 61.8, that's a different pattern altogether. So it must be at the 50. The highest or the lowest it can go is the 55th level. It can go beyond it. You know, it can close below 8 and probably weak, but it mustn't touch the 61.8, because if it touches it, that's a different pattern altogether. So let's just say it gets to the 55th level. That's the first thing. That's the first rule. You've already finished the first part of the game, of the process. So delete that. The next one says that it needs to retrace. So that move also needs to have like a continuation or like a pullback as well. So this needs to go up. You need to find this leg, which will be your C leg. That's the way it works. So what you're looking for in the market, when you come into the market, you're looking for something like this. You're looking for the market to do this. You're looking for the market to drop where it did this, and you're also looking for the market to continue. So that is your X here. That is your A. That is your B. And then this is your C. Now for this one, the rule, look at it, it mustn't go as far as this level anyway. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So let me not go ahead of myself. So right now you found your B. Now you're looking for your C. And the rule for your C says that it must be at least 38.2 or 88.6, meaning your retracement, your BC, which is what you're looking for, the pullback of that AB, this is your C. Remember what I said, that there is an impulse and there is a pullback. Now, consider this an impulse. This would be a pullback. That's why they say your BC. But really what you're looking for is your C leg. So how do you find your C leg? Same process. Pick up your fib level, measure it all the way from A to B. Okay, I might need to take out this bubble. It's in the way. Okay, so you need to find your C leg. And how do you find it? The same Fibonacci tool, retracement tool. Take it from, measure it from your A to your B. Now, what is the rule saying? Where should it get to? It should get to at least 38.2 or 88.6, meaning it can go as far as 38.2 or 88.6, but it mustn't get to A. A is the highest point it can get to. It can close above 88.6 in terms of maybe it can weaken all of that, but it mustn't touch A. If it touches A, it renders it invalid. So this can go as high as 38.2 or as low as 38.2 or as high as 88. So I'm just going to keep it at the first rule, 38.2. Just keep it there. So that is your C leg. That is your C leg. That is your C leg. So I'm going to delete this one. So this is the no-go area. This mustn't be crossed. This line right here mustn't be crossed. Let's put that, probably put that as a red. So this thing mustn't go that high. This is the 38. It can go as high as the 88.6. Now that's the next one. So what you need now is the extension. Let's see if we have any notes. For the D, okay, that's the Gartley. For the bad patterns, you don't really need to use the extension tool. Just use your Fibonacci retracement tool for your X to A to find the. Okay, what this is saying is that now see what this rule is saying. The rule for the bats is saying that we need to find the CD leg. We need to find the CD leg. That's the D leg. The D leg is our entry point. The CD leg is the retreat or the extension of this BC. You know, this is another impulse leg, right? Every one of this is like an impulse leg. So an impulse leg, a correction, an impulse leg, a correction, an impulse leg, a correction. In this case, it's an extension. So what is this telling us to do? For a bad pattern, we can use, for a bad pattern, you don't really need to use the extension. Normally, we'll have picked the extension too. But it says that you can just use your Fibonacci retracement tool from X to A to find your D. And your D must be at the 88.6 fib level, which is in line with what they are saying here. So let's go there now. So Fibonacci 2 drawn from the X to the A. So what are we looking for? 88.6. And where is the 88.6 falling to? So you draw your line from here, meaning that the leg must come all the way from here to your 88.6. Excuse me, let me change that. Okay, make that here again. So it means this can go. Now, if you look at the chart, it's saying that it should be 88.6 of XA. This is XA. So 88.6 of it, meaning the retracement or the pullback of it. Remember when we were looking for the pullback of the pullback AB, we did the same thing. We drew from X to A, right? So the same thing to find the retracements. So it's to draw again from X to A to find this retracement or extension, whichever way you want to call it. So right now it's saying that it must get to 88.6. It mustn't go beyond that. Yeah, it mustn't touch the 100. It mustn't be below that in terms of it mustn't be 78.6. It must be 88.6. So that is your rule right here. Now, if you go to that chart again, you see the same thing. Yep. What does it say? 88.6. Remember the 50 or the 38, that's the pullback. This one is 88.6. Yep. That's what it's saying. Now, another thing that I noticed is it said, well, 161 to 61.8. That's like an extra confirmation if you choose to do that. How do you find that one? So let's say you have that here. I normally don't use it, but that's your 88.6. You can pick your 2 from A to B, yeah, and then back to A. So now, if you were to use your extension, so that is what it's trying to say. So it's going to be between your 88.6, your 128, 161 to 261. I don't really use that tool anyway. I don't usually use the extension. That's why I only stick to using the what's it called, the Fibonacci retracement. But if we were using the extension, it means that this is where we're looking for D leg to be in, where you have that 161.8. And if you look at it, it falls in line with your Fibonacci retracement tool when we draw it all the way from X to A. Yep, it's within the same zone, isn't it? Yep, but I would rather we use the Fibonacci retracement tool as opposed to the extension to get the more accurate information. So that's that one. So I'm taking this out. So after you do that, we can just draw them now and fill it all up. Yep, so from here to here to here, that's your first triangle. Then from here to here to here, that's your second triangle. So that's what a bad pattern is supposed to look like, your bullish bad pattern. Now, how do you find your TP? Because remember, this is your D, excuse me. This is your D. That's the leg you were looking for. Your B, your CD leg. Your CD leg. So this is your D. Yep. So how do you find your TP? It's exactly, it's really, really straightforward. How do you find it? You go back to using your Fibonacci. And where do you draw it from? From your A. You drag it down to your D. And my first TP is always the 38.2, which would be from this level to this level. My next TP is always the 61.8, still from this level to this level. Yep. Now, where is the stop loss? Stop loss is real straightforward. You know that this is the leg, this is the X leg. Yep. Now, your stop loss would be a few pips below that X leg. A few pips below it. So it could be somewhere around here. Or if you were trading this as a strategy, you probably might, maybe this was your trade, it can just even put it below your previous low. Yep. One other place you can use as your stop loss is to do a 1-to-1 risk to reward of where your 38. So where would your stop loss be? It would be the same level. So let's say your entry price is there. Your TP is that level up there. Your stop loss would be this level. But I think that may be too large anyway. So you could either do a few pips away from your X or previous low, or maybe half of that. But that's one other way that people do it. That's one other way to do it. So one-to-one risk to reward ratio. That's from 38. So your 38 will be measured, because sometimes you can see some entries. Your D doesn't just start from here. The price can just go all the way back down. Sometimes it could just be a fake out or a stop hunt or whatever. But then, because your risk to reward, your stop loss is so low at this point, it doesn't take you out. But the trouble with that is that if it's too low and we were in a reversal, then you're going to lose a lot of money because your stop loss is too low. But then again, you don't put all of your trade in one basket. You don't say, okay, because I have to put all my money in one position. If you lose that position, it's all good. You work again. Look at several positions. Do that repeatedly. So over 1 month, you can see that if you do everything accurately, you would see that you'll be winning. You won't be losing, because you're trading consistently. You're not making every time you make a mistake, you improve on it. You're doing something different. But if you lose and then you don't do anything about it, you just sit down and watch the market. You don't want to enter the market again. You're reducing your chances of winning. But the more you trade, the better your chances at winning. So don't just lose and then stop trading. Lose and trade again. Lose and trade again. So how do you improve your chances of winning? By consistently trading and not over leveraging. Don't over leverage. Don't maybe put all of your eggs in one basket. Use a standard way. You're not supposed to do that. Can spread your positions. So that's one way to do it. So your TP will be here. Your second TP will be here. Sometimes it goes as low as going to your 78. So you can also do that. You can also put that, or you can wait. Once you have TP'd, look for another entry opportunity, then jump in again to keep taking the advantage. Or you could just close your positions and just close for the day. It's fine if you met your goal. So that's for the bullish Gartley. Let me do the bearish now so that you can see it's pretty much the same thing. You have your impulse leg first from the up. Remember, it's bearish, so it means your impulse leg must be coming from up, and then you have your pullback. Again, if that is your bearish, it means your impulse leg your X will be on top, your A will be below, and your B be here. Yep. So again, what do? Pick up your Fibonacci 2, draw it all the way from your X down to your A. Where's your pullback going to get to? Either your 38 or your 50. So let's say it gets to your 50. So we'll keep that there. What are we looking for now? Our C leg. And our C leg, it needs to be somewhere around here. It mustn't get to your A. Somewhere around here. And the rule says it can be 38. Where is it now? 38 or 88.6. Or it could come here. 38. If you notice something very key here, every one of these patterns, butterfly, Gartley, and the bats, they all have the same BC retracement. So sometimes you don't really need to measure it. Yep, 38.2 to 88. Every one of them have that. Yep. So for that, what do we need? So draw your. Remember, there's an impulse leg. What do you need? Your This is an impulse leg, your pullback. This is an impulse leg, your pullback. And how do you measure your impulse leg? Taking Fibonacci from your A to B. Where would your pullback get to? Your 38.2, or can go as low as your 88.6, but mustn't get to your A. Remember, A is the no-go area, so let's just say we stop at the 88.6 for a change. It means this mustn't be crossed. This level mustn't be crossed. Yep. So now what are we looking for? We're looking for, we found this. This is what, sorry, let me label that. This is your C, isn't it? What are we looking for now? The extension, that's your D. We're looking for the D leg where we're going to enter the market at. So let's say this is your, let me just pick this. So we're looking for our D. And what does the rule say? Excuse me, just get this right. Well, it's not letting me go. Sorry. Okay. So the rule says that what are we looking for? 88% of XA. And you're all 161 or to 261 of BC. But we are, like we said here, we don't really need to do the extension. We could just do only the Fibonacci retracement tool from X to A. So same way, pick up your Fibonacci tool and measure from X to A. So what are you looking for? You're looking for your 88.6, which should be somewhere around here. You can see the 88.6. Yep. So you mustn't go lower than that. It's to stop at the 88.6. It mustn't be okay, it mustn't go higher than that, it mustn't go be lower than that. It must be at the 88.6 for it to be a valid valid path. Yep. So this is our D now. Yep. So delete this so that we can draw that and fill that up. So we have that, and then we have that. Again, we have that, and then we have that. So they look different. Why do they look different? Because this one we stopped at the 38. The other one we stopped at the 88. That's why it's looking, but it's supposed to be now. Remember again, we're working with different. We're working with just in case the market goes as low as 88 instead of stopping at 38. This one is stopped at the 38. Yeah, but look at the way where C got as low as the 88. That's why it's like that. Okay, so where would be your TP? Same thing. So you pick up your Fibonacci tool. The information is here. Let me see for some of us. To find your D, your CD retracement or your D leg, take your Fib retracement tool from your X to your C and locate your. I think that's for Cypher. Sorry, that's for Cypher. Okay, I'm looking for the TP. Sorry, TPs are 38.2, 61.8, etc. This is measured from A to D using the Fib retracement tool. Same thing. So X, A to D would give you your TP. So measured from there. Where's your 38? That's your first TP. Where's your 61.8? That's your second TP. Yep. I'm not going to delete that one. So that's your TP. So if you're going to take this, you will take profit at that level. And if it keeps going down, you take profit at that level. But if it keeps going down still, you look for your 78 or any other level. Now, where is your stop loss? Exactly the same thing. So if you decide to take your stop loss to be 1-to-1, it should be that level. So let's say this is your TP. Yep. Your stop loss would be obviously below your X level, to be below here or above here. Why? Because this is where your X leg is. So your stop loss has to be above it. Either that or probably above the previous high, which is generally how we take our stop losses. So this one would be our stop loss. Another way of measuring your stop loss, which is your 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio of your first position. So if your first position is 50 pips, it means your stop loss will be 50 pips. Yep. So if your first position is 20 pips here, it means your stop loss will be 20 pips. Yep. Or you can make it half of your first position. Or you can make it the previous high of this position. Or you can have a fixed stop loss. No matter what the case is, your stop loss will be 50 pips. So whatever be the case. So one way of doing it is to do your 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. meaning your first position is 30 pips, your stop loss will be 30 pips. Then after that, you keep going to make more profit from that position. So that is what a bad pattern looks like. To recap, you have your X to A position drawn. After you find your X to A impulse leg, you look for your pullback, and your pullback, the rule says, must not go beyond 50. So it means it must be at least 38 to 50. So how do you find it? Pick up your Fibonacci to measure it from X to A, and then look for your 38 or look for your 50. Yep. So we used 50 for this one. Yep. So the next one now is to find your C, which is the pullback of that AB impulse leg that you just found, the pullback of it. Okay. So how do we find that? Same principle, same way you did this. Draw your Fibonacci from A to B, and the rule says it must be at least 38 or go as low as 88.6, which is this one. 38 or as low as or as high as 88.6. So you can go 38. Where is it now? Yeah, that's 38. Or it can go as high as 88.6, but it mustn't get to A because A is 100% retracement. You know, so it stops at 88.6, but now we chose to use the 38, assuming the market stopped at 38 before falling back. So that's why you have that. Then the extension of that CD, that's CD extension. Now the same principle, you take it all the way from X to A, and they said the extension should be what? 88.6. So that extension should get to at least 88.6. Mustn't go lower, mustn't be 78.6, mustn't go as high as 100. So it must stop at 88.6. That's why you have that there. You know, that's why you have that there. Now let me see something now. Let me try something else just to give me that extra. Okay, that won't work. It's gonna try something else. Okay. So like I was trying to explain initially, you can also do the extension using your extension tool of A to B. So you draw it all the way from A, stop it at what's it called here? Stop it at B, and then drag it from B to A back. Then it should fall within your zone. It says here 161.8 or 261.8. So if you look at the 161, it falls within your D leg. Look at it here. You know, but I'm more comfortable using my retracement tool as opposed to using my extension tool for my my D leg. So I'm gonna take that out of the way and stick to my retracement. So I just wanted to just give you that extra. Yep. So the same thing that you do here is the same thing that you did here. But this one, the reason why this is different is because we used, we did this, we found our 50 as well. We decided to use 50. For our BC, we decided not to use 38. We decided to use 88 just to give an extra information. Yep, as you can see, got to 88. Now to find our D leg, same principle. Measure it again from X to A, and then your D must be what number? 88.6, which is this level here that we found. Yep. What's your TP? Straightforward. Pick up your Fibonacci again, draw it all the way from your A, take it to D, and then find your 38. 38 falls here, and the next one is 61.8. 61.8 falls here. So that brings us to the end of the Gartley, the BAT pattern. So I would see you guys next time for when we'll be looking at the cipher pattern. Thank you very much.